How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the show. This one is a topic that I hear a lot of artists talk about, and I'm not quite sure how many of you guys and girls out there do it. And it's warm-ups. It's breaking the sleep rust off, as I like to say. I'm going to be doing another series of videos coming up pretty soon about waking up at 4 a.m. And the reason why that ties into this, why I figured, you know what, I posted this picture, I may as well, record it just in case, see if people are interested in it, and then just start talking about it. And it ties into the 4 a.m. thing because when I wake up at 4 a.m., I want to jump right into doing comics, right into doing personal projects or client work. And I don't know about you guys, but if you ever wake up, I don't know about you, but for me, it's difficult. And just getting down to being like, you sit down, and you're like, all right, let's create some kick-ass art. It takes some time. So what I like to do is open up. I believe this is Manga Studio. This is, I don't know, like a week old or something. But I'll open up Manga Studio or Photoshop, and I'll just start doing either a bunch of boxes, some circles, just some very quick things for about, I don't know, a minute or two, just to get my hand and eye coordination going. The next thing I'll do is what you're seeing here is I'll just do a quick sketch of, I try anyway, complex anatomy and foreshortening. Whether I succeed or not, that's not the point. I, at best, only spend 25 minutes if I have the time. I don't want to spend all my time doing a warm-up. 5 minutes, 10 minutes is probably best. But I believe this was actually done on a Saturday. So it wasn't really like I had anything else to do. I was doing comic book work all day, so 25 minutes isn't that bad. However, as you can see, like I'm really going in here and I'm really noodling and spending too much time doing this sort of thing, and this picture I end up coloring it or throwing some tones on it and stuff, spending way too much time on it, but I just kind of got into it and I had a little bit of time to actually do it, But so what some people do with their warm-ups is it's just that, it's warming up your body to get ready to actually start tackling some work. And I've found over the years that warm-ups are, besides being amazing, you can also get like double duty out of it. And what I mean by that is, take this for example. This kind of shot, I don't know if I'll ever, I hope I'll use a shot like this, or even more extreme foreshortening than this in some work down the road. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to it's sort of like getting your brain to solve a complex math problem. It's how do you do this, okay? And I want to ask my brain something right away. I want to get my brain thinking so that when it comes time to transition from like this sketch to actual work, I'm not guessing as much on the fly with client work. Does that make sense? I hope it's making sense to you guys as to why I'm doing it. And if I can ask myself these complex questions to let my brain think about the illusion of space on a flat image, or that intimidating white background, and just throwing some scribbles down, throwing some boxes over top to understand perspective and foreshortening, and trying to break down the anatomy in a complex, simple shape with a little bit of flair on it. And I like to lately I've just been getting in a kick out of using just red pencil. It reminds me of back in the animation days of doing this sort of thing. And you can see right here I even threw a blue layer over top just for the costume. I've been actually doing that in client work as well, or personal projects. All of my pencils lately have just been in red. You guys may have seen some other videos like that, or the live streams. It'll be in red, and then I'll just grab blue and do the costume element over top of it. I was actually looking at, who's the artist I was looking at? I was at Chapters, a bookstore, or Indigo, whatever they want to call themselves now. And I was over at the comic book section, and the one thing that sucks and bums me out, especially about at least where I'm at in Canada anyway, in Ontario, is they don't have any cool art books. It's one thing I wish, I hear anyway, Europe, especially Japan, has like kick-ass art books. Europe's got some quality too, but I just wish we had better ones here. But I was over at the graphic novel section, and I saw The Art of Sin City. I had to pick it up. So I'm flipping through it, and it wasn't bad. But what I noticed Stephen Frank Miller was doing back in that work is something I've seen, and I always flip-flop back and forth between it, is you're doing your structure, your anatomy in a color. So red's the perfect example. Then they'll grab blue or black or something, and then you throw your costume over top of it. And it's a way for your eye to distinguish between the two. So if you're just working with actual pencil on Bristol, it's a little bit more tough to do. There's a lot more erasing going on. But when you're working with color, right, you can just continually draw on top of each other perfectly. And then once it comes time to ink, you can actually pick the lines you want. And that's the whole point of it. And when you're working digital, there's really no excuse. It's not even really a speed thing, unless you're one of those artists that likes to just draw, let's say a guy in a suit walking down the street. If you're one of those artists that can just draw a guy in a suit, and it's fine, knock yourself out. For me, I like to have a little bit more of the structure down of the person that I'm drawing, like have... It doesn't have to be perfect anatomy, but at least enough anatomy so that I can go, okay, so in red, we'll say, we got the guy just strolling, and then in blue, I can start to figure out the wrinkles around the elbow, the wrist, maybe the flared collar, maybe the tie's blowing. I can get some motion that way, and it just lets me see things a little bit different. I highly recommend you guys try it if you haven't. Like I said, it might feel like it's taking more time or it's adding more time to something. Honestly, it's not. It might actually increase your productivity and or quality of work too, especially if you're doing digital. If this is actually on paper and you're doing this sort of thing, I would assume that you're going to be inking it at some point. If not, then you might kind of be stuck with just working the two. But anyway, back to what's going on right here. So I've been jibber jabbering. Threw on some quick color here, the tone, you guys have seen me do that, and all I did here was I wanted my brain to think a little bit more about light and shadow. So she's got her arms, kind of like I'm trying to watch anime, period, but I want to introduce anime into my life a lot heavier, especially that high-octane energy stuff. I'm trying to see if I can get into the Saturday morning cartoon thing, find a few anime series and just start knocking them out and go from there. But we'll see. Manga is awesome, but it's not enough sometimes. There's something about seeing a character fly through a city and just that twists and stuff like that. But anyway, so I'm just trying to throw in some shadow on there just to get it real quick, just to give again my brain a chance to think of shadow and form, and then the rest is just special effects stuff that I'm trying to do. And you can see me here trying to noodle in Photoshop. This sort of stuff, image correction would be much easier, but it's Manga Studio and I got to learn better. But anyway, keep reading comics, keep making comics. Talk to you soon.